Good morning. Just having a few orders. Hopefully the stream seems okay. There's an error popped up as I went live. That's fine, let's crack on. Good morning, today's the 1st of February 2024 and it's a brand new month. Hopefully I'm going to finish off from having a decent January with a decent February, and all of my plays last month, bar a few where I overtraded a little tiny bit on a few days, were all basically playing my pre-market bounces and rejects and a few continuation trades, pre-market high, break and retests, and I'm going to continue with that throughout February as well. So let's crack on and look at some levels for today. So what I'm really watching for is, let's just quickly check the news. Let's go today's news. So we had 8:30 jobless claims and a few market moving news events. Nothing really happened. 8:30, no, not really. Bit of a indecision candle on the 5-minute. 10 AM we've got manufacturing PMI, so that could potentially move the market. So be wary of at 10 AM any trades you might be in. Got PMI coming at 10. So 10 AM, that's in 1 hour. Right, so I'm going to go through some of my levels for today. I've got a few relatively okay levels. Nice to see a bit of a pullback, so it gives us a bit more flexibility in what we're watching. And when we're at all-time highs, all we can wait for is basically trend continuations, pullbacks. But when we pull back a bit, we've got bounces and rejections we can watch. So today on the ES or the MES, I'm going to be watching for the break of this bear flag putting in. Let's open up my pen. And what I'm really looking for is this structure to break, and I want to find a short entry on the break of that structure. So kind of watching that area, which is 48.85. Let's just draw in the trend line. So that's the current trend line. So in fact that opens up a bit better. So we're watching for the break below this trend line. So if we pull back and we continue up, we can watch for potential higher highs and higher lows. But if we break down, probably this pivot I'm watching for, the pre-market low pivot, look for a break and retest short, and we've got 2 targets if we take that. So let's just put some numbers to that. So we're looking for the break and retest of 48.82. Let's just put that in as a level, and this entire area basically, if we get below, we need to get below the VWAP, and we will be coming into this trend line. So this area, do you know what, I'm going to take that level back because I don't really want to take that trend line unless we're breaking this bear flag. So I'm going to be watching 48.82 area, 48.80, but I really want to see it just come back down into that area for the break and retest. That's kind of what I really want to see. If I get in below that pivot low in the pre-market, even though we did have some volume in that area, you can see the volume over here on the volume profile. If I go short, potentially we've got a bounce area on that trend line, so it's not a great short if we take it. So just keep an eye on that area and look for weakness. Also we can watch for the pre-market high, 2 levels of rejection. So if we see a double top, come back down, or we can look for the break and retest long, but I prefer us to get over this level 48.90 first. So let's just go into the daily to see where we are. So a few days we've had decrease in volume, and then on an increase in price. We talked about this, and then yesterday we saw this big red bar that took out the last week's worth of trading, and we've got it on increased volume as well, which is what we want to see on a reversal. So this is quite a significant reversal candle. Look, there's no upper or lower wicks as well. It's just a deep red candle, and there's no bottom wick as well, so it didn't show that there's any indecision or buyers coming in. So we could be potentially watching for pullback to this area here, which is 48.40 area. So that's an area to watch for potential bounce or target for a short. So 48.40. And then any other, and we've obviously got the yesterday's low as well, which we can watch for a bounce. So let's go back into the hourly and see where we are with that. 48.40 we discussed, which is this level here. So that's that significant area in the hourly we just saw in the daily. So 48.40 for a bounce. That's my number one watch today. That's what I want to see it get down to, and I'll be watching for a bounce there. Otherwise, we're looking for another higher probability bounce, a double bottom at 48.66 through to 48.70, and that's the area. So I kind of got a level. I've got 73 as a potential area, and wise that's probably a level from yesterday. Yeah, we're watching that area, so I'm going to mark it off as an area of demand. It's not really a demand area just yet because we haven't seen a significant reversal, but it's an area to be wary of, that entire area, which takes in, I really want to see a change of colour candle and then a bit of a reversal, but we haven't really had significant bounce on it. Just an area to watch. It's low volume as well, so it's not, just so I don't confuse, let's get rid of that. I'm just watching this area for a bounce. And then for rejection wise, if we can get back up into this area, 48, well basically 4900, that's a significant area. So I was watching, it came in, came close, bounced, and then just forced through, FOMC forced it through. So kind of watching this area as well for rejection. So to sum up my plan for today is a bit, I've only just looked at the charts about a minute before I sat down on this video, watching for a continuation of this trend up and then a potential rejection off of 4900, and then I really want to see a break of this bear flag. This will be ideal because hopefully I'll be able to find an entry there, and I'll be able to add to it on the break and retest of this movement down. So two prime watch areas today. I'm watching for 4900 rejection, and I'm watching for 48.66, yesterday's low, this area for a bounce, and that can be a target area as well for short. And obviously the break of this bear flag, a break and retest as an add. So just this area I want to see an add. So that's kind of the three areas I'm watching. 1, 2, 3. If we see more selling today, then I quite like the bounce. This is a area I'm really watching for, this area 48.50, 48.42, this entire area. And just to recap, that is the big pivots coming over from the daily 48.41 area. So we could even see it come right down into to 48.31. So we've got this $10 area to watch for, and I think that's it really. And so we've got selling off. If the buyers come back in, then we really need to get above the 200 moving average. While we're below the 200 moving average on the hourly, I'm more favouring shorts and longs. This is a 200, this purple line. So I'll be watching for shorts as a higher probability, and longs will be a lower, higher risk. Obviously we're below the 50, below the 200, below the 20 as well. And we've broken through this ascending wedge we were talking about over the last few days as well. There's a nice break and retest of it there, and a big sell-off yesterday. I think that's it. I'll come back in a few minutes. Imagine SPY will be very similar. kind of got this area here for rejection. $4.89 through to $4.88, a rejection area. We can watch this big reaction when we got there last, and fully rejection at FOMC. So I kind of want to watch this area. Got a lot of volume coming in at 487.50, so we need to get all the way back up here. I quite like the rejection for the 50 moving average, which is now curving around. So the 50 is this red line, just starting to just curve around. We rejected it yesterday, nice big rejection there, bounce off the 200. So this is showing that the 200 moving average and the 50 moving average are pretty significant. And last time we haven't been anywhere near the 200 since we bounced, broke it and retested it back in the 18th of Jan. So levels for SPY, watch 488 for a rejection, potentially 489, but that should act as a stop, I think, 489. Or you can use the 50 moving average as an area to watch for stops. It gives you a bit of a tighter stop loss. And then watch for bounce, double bottom, or the break of this bear flag is a lot nicer than the MES one, so probably the break of this structure, the bear flag. So let's just put in trend line, kind of where we are now, a break and retest of that flag. That's it really. If we see continued sell-off, then I quite like the bounce. So I'm going to move this line down to here. It's no longer, in fact, let's get rid of it. It's no longer all-time highs. And I quite like the bounce just above. I'm not sure what it's. Watching this area for bounce, which would be 477 to 478. In fact, this entire zone. You can see that level there. You can see why that's rejected. If you look, there's an area of confluence. Tops of candles, bottoms of candles. Come back in. What was the floor has now become the ceiling, so it's the tops of candles, and reject. So I'll keep that level in there. That could be a significant level for later. So really watching 488 rejection off of this 50 moving average, and to continue this hourly downtrend which we're seeing right now. If we pull back, I want to see that. Or if we don't see much buy-in, we can watch for the break of this flag and look to go short around 484. Let's just put a level in so we've got it written down. 484.50. That's it really, and then we've got a bit of some bounces coming into this area. 478.75, 477.36. Looking at Qs. Kind of seen a bit of a reversal up here. Could argue this is a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, neckline, the break, retest of the neckline, and continuation down. I like a rejection up in this area, 422 for a reject. Or the break of this flag pattern down, 418 area for a reject as well. And we're below the 200 moving average for the first time in a few weeks, which is quite significant. Whether we can hold below this 200, we'll soon see, but we're now below the 50 and the 200. So this is showing to me that the chart's a bit weaker. Daily for a second. I know in the ES we had reducing volume on increasing price, but it's kind of been even volume on sideways action. And we've got this significant bounce area at 413 to 410, but we are coming into the 200 on the daily, coming into the 20 on the daily, but Quite like a bounce at 411 to 412. Let's go back to the hourly. 411 to 412. So kind of this area we've got marked up already. 411.32. So that's my bounce area. And we've got the reject area around here. And that's it really, those two areas. And you've got the double bottom off of the yesterday's low. Either a double bottom for a reversal to continue the trend up. Just so we know, we are still in an uptrend, despite what we saw yesterday, that red bar and on the ES, because we need to break the structure before we can even consider us being in a downtrend. So still treat it on a higher time frame as an uptrend, and then obviously the trends start from the lower time frames, and we're seeing a bit of a change of trend in the hourly. We just need to see that now on the 4 hour. I haven't really had much of a chance on the 4 hour, and then obviously that will then show us on the daily if it is a change of trend. Okay, looking at NQ next, same as Qs. We can watch the rejection of 17,500. Note that we're below the 50 moving average, and the 200 starting to curve around. Early days on that, but we've got this area to watch for potential rejection. And again, like the others, we've got this bear flag and a break of this structure with a possible target at this area, which is 17,000 to 17,050. So they're really the areas I'm watching, very similar to the others, all very similar charts. Look at oil. This is the CL oil, or the MCL, which is what I normally trade. Not doing much. Came into this pivot, area confluence, double bottom, whatever you want to call it. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Didn't break it, so that kind of invalidates that pattern now. And it looks like it was a bounce. Possible target 78 again. No real trades. I think I was really watching the break and retest of this area. Couldn't quite break it and retest it, so that's an invalid head and shoulders pattern now. Relatively high volume yesterday in the market hours. Sorry, just got distracted for a second. No, nothing really. Want to see it pull back down into this area for potential bounce, 74. And we're starting to put in a bit of a change of direction. We'll see what happens next. If we can take out that pivot, then we can watch for it to come back down into 74. So a potential trade could be a rejection around that area with confirmation only. There's nothing really for me for this trade. Gold, GC futures gold, or MGCs is the micros version. Looking at the overall picture on the daily. Putting in this pattern, so something's looking like it wants to happen soon. Kind of squeeze in, and we want to see a reaction. So potentially the break of that area, 2017, or the break of 2028 is kind of what we're watching for. There we go. So potential long if we break over 2073. Break. What I quite like is the break and retest of this wedge. So break through, retest, probably back at that level again, 2056 for the long. So kind of watching for that, and the same if we break down through it here, come back down, retest that area. We've got a level for that at 2040, 2039 for the short. But there's more upside than downside because we've got a few levels going down, so a bit more support below, less resistance above. So watch for this. I'm going to put in a level there to watch for with an alert. That'll just draw my attention if it hits today. I'll be honest, I don't really like the short, but I will put in a level. If it breaks that one, I'll just add an alert to that. Okay, next we're looking at the Russell 2000. This is the futures. This is the mini micro e-minis, Russell 2000. And again, bear flag. Kind of watching this for a break below. So that would be at the current level where it is right now, 1968. And then probably looking for a reverse, a rejection at 1980. If we get above that area, then we're looking for a break and retest along. Got a few targets, 2001 as a target. That's it for that. Same as SPY and Qs really. And then we're looking at the Dow Jones, the YM. Look at that. Broken down, consolidating, and it'd be nice if it's below the pivot, but it's not. So we've got a lot of support below. But a break, retest with the 200 as a target potentially. Doesn't move much in a day, so not the best one. But a slow mover. And again, if we break over that area as well, we can watch for a long to continue to look for a double top. So 38,350 long, 38,230 short. That's the areas to watch for, and we'll be looking for confirmation. SPX as well, it's probably doing very similar. If we come into that area for a bounce, look at that. So I'm just looking at this area here, happens to be right on the 200 moving average as well. So 4,800 for a bounce. Got area of confidence there. Maybe 48, 75, 72 for rejection, and a better rejection will be up here as well. 49.04, 49.05, and obviously got all-time highs as well. But I don't really play SPX, but I do keep an eye on it. Just a quick look at Bitcoin on the daily. We are on the daily, okay. So this is a significant area to break down through. We broke it, pull back up, and are we going to come and retest it and push back up, or are we just going to keep coming back down? Looking for a current add to my current position. I quite like this area here, although I did add at one point. I did add around there at one point last week, and this is another good add area as well. So kind of these are areas to watch for. Break below this area, area consolidation, 41,500. You can see some downward movement. Break above 4,400 for possible double top. That's it really. Nothing else. I think I've covered the main ones. MES, just have a quick look again. This is on back to the hourly, see if there's any change in the last few minutes. So that's my anchored VWAP. I always put that on when I see big news like FOMC. I put the anchored VWAP on the 5-minute candle, and it kind of gives you an idea of where it's going. And look at that. Even though the normal VWAP's down here, for anchored VWAP, it came in, retested it and rejected it. So that has some significance. I also put on the fibs as well to give me the 50% and the 618% as well. And obviously yesterday we can use that as a guide as well. Nothing is, so all I'm waiting for, just to recap my trade, my possible trades for today on this, I'm looking for, let's just clone this line. Look at that, absolutely spot on almost. So I'm looking for the break. Get rid of that now. Get rid of that, that's now invalidated, we don't need that anymore. Although I like the level still. So I'm looking for the break of this bear flag. The break of this structure here. And either in two ways, either the breakdown, the retest and then the short. I may even look to take a breakdown short without confirmation, just in case we don't see it pull back and touch, and then use this as a potential target for T866. Or I'm watching for the pre-market high, break and retest, and that will obviously be breaking out of this flag pattern to the north side. And we've got the 200 as a potential target, we've got 50, so it's called a death cross potentially coming in, 200 coming down, 200 coming down as well. So this could be a potential target, that area there. And obviously we've got a lot of volume in this area. You can see that using the volume profile tool and the point of control coming in. And then just look at the daily again for the volume to see. We had big volume yesterday on that down candle, and I think I said earlier it's a solid down candle. Looks one of significance. If we can break down below it, probably look for the test down. No wick, so no buyers came back in on this. We've got this potential area here at 48.40 for a bounce, so that's a potential target for a swing maybe. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Probably won't be a video tomorrow, live one. Sadly I'm at a funeral. In fact, there won't be a live video tomorrow. I'll be at a funeral. I may look at some levels in the morning. And just, do we have any news tomorrow? 8:30, big news. So I won't be any videos tomorrow or levels, because I won't do my levels until I see this, and I won't be here to do it. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching.